this area of tall pines right here by the lake. Gonna be a good camping spot. I think I'll build my shelter right here. There's nothing to it but gathering branches. And this time, I'm just going to build a basic tripod shelter. It's a simple one. The basic framework is just 3 poles stood up. And as you can see, it's tall enough for me to stand up in. That's always a plus. Okay, these short little stubbly branches are going to do the job of holding my thatching in place, because here today I'm going to be using pine needles, just the pine needle litter that's all over the ground. And for it to be an effective waterproof shelter, I'm going to have to make it at least 10 inches thick. Alright, it's almost done. You see where sunshine is coming in through some of the spots. If it was raining, I'd have to keep going with this and fill it completely in until there's no more leaks. And that's what stops the leaks, is just piling up enough on it. And sometimes you got to add more branches to the outside, because your material will just start falling down off of it and won't stay up. And you just add a few more branches, that's all. But this is good enough for now. All I needed was a windbreak. Now I can concentrate on putting some fishing gear together. Maybe I can catch some fish. Well, on second thought, maybe I'll just get my bedding put together. For that I like to use tall grasses. It's a thick mat of tall grass. Yeah, a few more armloads of those, and that'll be done. And also, before I try to go fishing, I need to gather up as much firewood as I can get. I need a stock of firewood for tonight. So I'd better do that while I have daylight and have time. And a lot of pine fat right here in this area, just resonated pine wood. I'm going to gather up as much of that as I can get. It burns really bright, really hot, and it's perfect for a fire. Okay, I've got protection from the weather. I've got fire. Now my next concern is water. And that's not going to be a big problem because I'm right on the edge of a spring-fed, crystal clear water lake. So I can just drink the water right out of the lake. It's not something I'd have to boil or purify, although it'd be a good practice to do that. I know that this lake is safe to drink from. So that's what I'm going to do, get some water. Yeah, see? Just drink it up. Alright, I've got this green vine here. It's about 30 feet long. I'm going to use it for my fishing line. Now all I got to do is get a couple thorns together for a hook and get some bait. And I'm going to go fishing. Alright, I'll gather a few of these cactus needles and I'll be in business for fishing. Alright. These cactus needles are kind of hard to grab hold of if you use a pair of pliers. Like what I use right here. See, there's 2 pieces of wood. There's 2 pieces of wood, you grab onto it. They pull right off, just like that. And the idea with using a vine is at the very tips, you got all these slender branches. And what I do is I turn each one of those into a fish hook. Now on this fishing line I can get about 4 of them. See, I got 2 branches there with the slender tips that come out of them. And I'm going to try to transform each one of those into a fish hook. Of course I use pine sap. I'll lash my thorns on there and I'll melt pine sap and I'll coat the threads with the melted pine sap. And that locks the whole thing together and turns it into a strong tool. And because I'm going to be fishing for brim, smallmouth fish, I need little tiny hooks. So this will work perfect. See, I just tie a thread onto the vine. You could use yucca leaf or any other natural material. Just a stray thread from my jacket's just fine. And you put the fish hook on there, wrap it, and don't need to worry about tying it with half hitches or anything because I've coated with pine pitch. But you can tie it if you want to, but these small threads are hard to tie. So I usually just melt my pine sap and attach it with the pine sap. And melted pine sap, you just dunk it right in there, see? Just like that. Roll it around in there. Get it sufficiently coated. Smooth it out with your fingers. If there's any loose strings or anything like that, you can just burn those off. And that's all there is to making a fishing line out of vines. Okay, just a little bit of thread from my jacket and a cactus needle. I've been able to transform this vine into a trot line with multiple hooks. Okay, little thorn right there. Alright, now I'm ready to go fishing. Well, I gotta get some bait. Alright, that's the last hook right there. That gives me 4 of them. I can bait all 4 of these hooks on this one fishing line right here. And I'll have some really, really good chances of catching some of those brim or a bass even. So, I gotta go get my bait. And I always get plenty of spare cactus needles and thread or yucca leaf or whatever like that, so in case I break all my fish hooks I can make more. I can gather plenty of termites and stuff like that to eat also, so it's not like I'm going without meat by not having fish. There's even the minnows that I'm about to go and catch, and those make a really good meal too. So even if I don't actually catch a fish with my fishing pole, the bait that I'm using as food, there's just so much out here, and it's actually having a fish doesn't really matter that much. Although a nice great big brim or a bass would be excellent. Well, I'm out of time for this video. I hope to see you next time. My name is Jack Survival. Thank you for watching.